You at Ibrox, but since then I don't think he's really convinced the support, and I don't think he's really convincing the manager at this stage.
Well, this is it, and I think Alec has gone for Arveladze and Tunisia up front, possibly their pace. Arveladze's scoring record is excellent, and of course on the change from the three up front, they've gone and matched Celtic in the formation. Rickson has come in on the right-hand side, Lovenkrands as well. De Boer returns, he'll be an important player for them.
The interesting thing is that Tunisia in his mid-30s played virtually the whole of the game at Ibrox, and the game before that. I mean, that's going to be very, very trying on his legs. He's certainly not a veteran, but he did a lot of running on Saturday against Dundee.
Well, he's got a lot to play for. I think he still feels as though he's got a World Cup place, but Celtic certainly have got a strong team tonight. I think the fact that Agat is back is a big boost for Martin O'Neill. I think it's the fact that his natural fitness and athleticism, I think that's why he's in immediately without having played 90 minutes since November.
Well, certainly got two of the fastest men I've ever seen in Scottish football. Agat on one side and Lovenkrands on the other. But I'll tell you, as the PA announcement booms over Hampden Park, just to finally confirm the teams and the supporters making their way finally to the seats. By the way, 46,000 at Hampden Park tonight. There's the referee for tonight's game, Kenny Clark. He's officiated cup finals before, and you need nerves of steel for an occasion like this. And having said that, I hope that peace breaks out there tonight. Remember the last game last time? There were 3 sendings off on that, Moravcik, Moles and Reina. 10 players cautioned. And indeed in the last 7 games, between Rangers and Celtic, there have been 7 red cards and 40 yellows. So, perhaps a much more pensive set of players. Off we go now, straight in there to Moravcik. Hartson taking up that position, taking his eye right off that. It's going to be very tough in midfield. Arthur Newman coming back for Rangers on Saturday, of course. Lambert, that calming, soothing influence in midfield. Lennon propping up there, Balde getting his first touch of the ball after all the controversy about him. Agat on the run, and Newman should let that go and does. Well, Arthur Newman has been off roughly about the same time as Agat. They're both very, very quick in opposition. Alec McLeish, his first Old Firm game, he's going to be a very agitated man, I would expect, whatever the result throughout this entire 90 minutes. There's almost a mistake, and Larson, a tremendous save. Avarus are coming back, and that's the kind of defending that has lost Rangers 6 goals in the last 4 games.
Yeah, I don't know what Newman was thinking of, but certainly the save from Amoruso is outstanding. I thought John Hartson had it. It was a good touch past cross, but a wonderful diving save from Amoruso there.
Well, Newman, I've watched in World Cups, I've watched him in Cup finals as well in Europe, and you would imagine a man of that experience would not betray nerves. There's one for you. Clearly that, Celtic on the attack. That's another corner kick, yes. Balcarin coming into the far post. And Rangers have been all season very vulnerable to balls like this.
Yeah, they have, and I noticed they just keep the one player on the post, the back post actually. They don't have anyone on the front post.
Petrov with it. With a cross goal, and as that ball came across, Johan Mjällby. And of course, the great thing about Celtic, they have so many players in the box that can take a ball like this.
Yeah, of course, as well as Mjällby, you've got Balde as well. Hartson's up there, and I think that's a hell of a chance for Celtic in the opening minute, because it may well have been that Hartson may feel as though he could have hit that one first time.
Well, they did survive it all right, but you wonder if having survived it, there's still a little bit nervy out there.
Yeah, well, a lot's been said about who's going to get the first goal and whether that will eventually lead to the winners, and I think Rangers may well have dominated the possession in earlier games, but it's all about getting goals.
Well, certainly Rangers look very nervy at the moment. That was Rickson with a dreadful ball forward. Here's Kanigia. All he could do was run it out. And down there on the pitch, after a horrendous start like that, although they got away with it, they really need somebody to be exuding composure. Well, he's composed in a rather grim way at the moment. Agat tries to go in there. On the attack again. Good play by Celtic. Rangers looking very ragged at this stage. Here's Kenigia. Now Ferguson. Well out with that. Well, at this now, I know it's early doors yet, but you get the impression that Celtic are really up for it.
Yes, absolutely, but to understand Ferguson there trying to get Lovenkrands into the game, I think that would be a ploy for Rangers to try and exploit his pace down that left-hand side and maybe force Agat into a more defensive position.
De Boer getting his first real feel of the ball. Ferguson. Rickson. Kenigia. Good tackle there by Volkeren. There goes Kenigia. Volkeren is after him. Well, Mjällby read it very well, but I don't think the pass was hit all that smartly. Wasn't crisp enough.
Yeah, maybe 33 actually, but I still think his turn of pace is really quite electric.
Amarosa just wanted to get that away as far downfield as he could. De Boer. Here's Newman. And there by De Boer. Does get it in, and it's just past. Corner kick, Arveladze coming at it to near post. Good move, intelligent move here by De Boer.
Well, I think that's what Alan McLeish is looking for from Ronald De Boer, creating things in the last third. Wonderful front post run from Arveladze, and again, a great block from Baldi.
I don't think there's going to be a dull night here at Hampden Park as Arveladze tries to creep up there. So, two narrow squeaks at either end. Corner kick. Rangers' defensive errors. They went 6 games without conceding a goal after Alec McLeish started his run and then conceded 6 goals in 4 games. Kenigia, great save. Well, there you are. He's not exactly a dwarf, but he really, certainly not as high as some of these Celtic players, well, yet he gets in there.
Yeah, I think it's all down to the delivery. Excellent ball in from Rickson. Kenigia is not the tallest, as you say, but that was a wonderful header, good power, and I think the fact that it was just so close to Douglas made it a bit comfortable for him.
Lovenkrands. There's Volkeren. Thompson trying to get that done. Nicely swept in there by Arveladze. Goes away again. Here's Ferguson. Trying to put a little bit of meat into midfield for Rangers. Well, they're certainly not messing about in the midfield area. I mean, they're closing down players either side very quickly.
Yeah, but that contest out on the right-hand side there between Agat and Newman, it'll be fascinating all night, and Agat showing his defensive quality.
Amoroso couldn't get in there. Just burst again. 2 glaring chances for Celtic. And maybe a season ago, that man would have killed it. Bad misjudgment by Amoroso and left exposed.
Well, it's an astonishing amount of chances we've had in the first 5 minutes, Archie. That time, Larsson, wonderful first touch. He didn't really hit it all that well, but credit to the goalkeeper. I thought it was a good save.
I wonder about Agat. I thought he was limping slightly there, but I think it's just a case of leaving Thompson to come across for this. And he is, and taking his time about it. Too well done to Petro. Can't get it away. Still there. Tremendous pressure on that Rangers goal. Klaus standing his ground. Hodgson goes after it. Condiment with them. Well, it was almost the beginning of a siege there. Celtic still keeping possession, and that's a free kick. Clumsy tackle there. And this is certainly another dangerous position because Celtic have at least 3 people in the team that can take a situation like this and exploit it.
Yeah, they can, but I can't remember an old firm game actually where there's been so many chances at both ends in the opening minutes. It's quite astonishing.
Well, there is Thompson there. And Larson. And this man has a big test facing him. Referee trying to sort out that Rangers defensive wall. And on the right there. Just past again, it took the side of the post. And a rather subdued expletive there. And no wonder the Celtic support are standing up and giving their team a rousing reception for that last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Larson just inches away there, a wonderful free kick, but credit again to Kloss, that double save from Petrov just a minute or so ago. He's up for this game already.
Conterman just get that little touch, I think, a push on him by Lambert. Hastily taken there by Conterman. Valdev. Moore. Settles for the throw. I just think that Ibrox defence is nerve-wracked.
Yeah, well, you could maybe say the same for the Celtic defence as well, but just hoping we don't have to wait too long for the first goal.
Certainly doing the right kind of thing. The goalkeeper just taking his time about this. There's a little flick. Palazzi will be after this. Rexon. Ferguson follows on. Well, it fell to the wrong foot of Lobenkrantz. Very much a left-footed player. Certainly was getting in there. There's De Boer.
It's exactly what you're after from your left wing-back when the play is going down the right-hand side. I still think it's an excellent chance. I know it falls to his right foot, but if he hits the target, catching it on the volley, he's got a good chance of scoring.
Well, he is very, very fast indeed, but lacking, I think, just a little bit of poise in the penalty box, as we've seen in other games. Not the best ball to send out there with a gap there. Lobenkrantz did that well. The play at the moment seems to be sweeping past Ben Conterman in midfield. Now, Ferguson. Passes will have to be more accurate than that. And Robert Douglas taking no chances. Close very quickly in midfield. There's a little touch by De Boer. Baladi. Lodenkrantz. That's a decent ball, well defended by Lennon. Well, Lennon, I think, is one of the strongest defensive midfield players in the business. Part of the strong core of this Celtic side. Tramps around the pitch to a great effect, both in attack and defence. Well, I think that might be another corner kick if it goes out. Oh, he managed to keep it in, Hodgson. I suppose the corollary to all of that and the pressure Rangers have just had to absorb is that Celtic might be a bit disappointed they're not one up.
Yeah, I think both sides could see that. I think the managers would say that both sides should be up, but defensively they're pretty poor.
De Boer just gets a little touch. Ferguson's in there. Balde. Well, Ronald De Boer, I think, was going to be tackled as he went for that. He realised that. He had to go for it very quickly.
Yeah, but I still think he's got the ability to get that on target, RG. I think he is disappointed with that effort. He'll feel as though he's missed a chance to at least hit the target.
Well, Martin O'Neill's been right to the edge of the technical area, passing on instructions. Amoroso. Balde. Amoroso to Conterman. There's Kinnage, a beautiful turn there. That's a free kick. Well, I think a turn like that, blocked by that, he's a rather cynical Foles all the same. I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing there, look.
Well, I think he's just beaten by the sharpness of Kinesia. He's very capable of doing that, whether it's in that midfield area or even more dangerous further forward.
There's De Boer. Now Newman. I know he's fast, Lovin Franz, but oh no, not just that quick. Suffered a lot of injuries, and as I said, he's been very, very animated tonight, and he's continually passing on instructions to Thompson.
Well, I think he'll just be concerned about the defensive side of things. I think the fact that Kinesia is getting a free header from a corner, an area that you normally think Celtic are very strong, I think that is what will concern Martin O'Neill just now.
Well, if he's concerned about defence, what do you think Alec McLeish is like? Well, Hodgson did get the touch there, but Newman read it well, knew exactly what was going to happen. Kinegia. Conterman has it now. They want the run, and they get it. Well, Balde came right across, and it's a free kick against Balde for that challenge. Taking him right on the back.
Yeah, it's a clever run from Arveladze. Rickson has sought Thompson to leave the space for Arveladze to go into, and he's won Rangers a free kick in a dangerous area.
Pirlo Trans from Denmark to take this one. He's very fond of blasting the ball in, but this time it was beyond everybody. Not sure that Robert Douglas was too happy about that either. Here's Newman. Can't get it to Arveladze. Tackle there by Balde came in and he took it cleanly and well. I don't think Rickson wanted the challenge at all. Referee considering the book was up as Ferguson went for the head. Well, that's at least the third time that a ball's been played forward by Conterman like that to no effect. And overstruck.
I think it's a fully committed effort from both sides. There's been nothing yet that's been malicious, and I think Kenny Clark has got a fine hold in the game so far.
Mark Hughes, not for sissies out there. I mean, some of them have been clattered. So, Robert Douglas with just about 18 minutes coming up to, still no scoring. It could have been something like 3-2 at this stage. Lennon picked up there by Larson. Now Thompson. A little bit too strong there. You know, Stephen Claus does not like the ball played back to him like that. That, I think, is a free kick to Rangers.
Yeah, his players are putting him under a bit of pressure, but he's handling it well, and with the saves that he's made early on, he's kept Rangers in the game so far.
There's Ferguson. Arveladze tries to go forward, and I'll tell you, if his first touch had been a bit crisper and more controlled, that was dangerous.
Yeah, his movement was excellent. Baldy was caught under the ball there, and had Arveladze taken a better first touch, he's got in and go with a one-on-one against Douglas.
Arveladze coming deeper. Amoroso. Crowns did very well, but I think in effect playing a ball like that to him is only going to be useful if it's beyond the defender to exploit his great pace. Wide off balance for that. Touched inside, Thompson with the shot, and Agat was a little bit slow coming up for that. But he got behind that Rangers defence again. Agat wanted a little ball played back to him. Didn't quite get it. That's a throw to Celtic. Well,
you see here is Larsson's ability to link the play. Thompson going beyond him, but Agat just not quite on the end of it.
Well, again, indecision in that Rangers defence. I'm not sure if Conterman had shouted for it or not, but Amoroso seemed to leave it. But there has been that fragility about the Rangers defence all season.
Yeah, it is. It's a simple throw-in that's been left to bounce, and eventually Celtic have won a corner.
Thompson with a lower one this time. De Boer with the clearance, not all that effective. Pressure still on. Agat. That'll be a free kick. And I don't know why they're complaining about it.
Yeah, again, it's an astonishing burst of pace from Agat. Ferguson just doesn't have that gear in him, and again, it's a dangerous area, Archie.
Well, there's a bit of movement in the box, of course, as there always is. Rangers being put to a very severe test. And it just passed. It looked as if it was ending up in the back of the net.
Yeah, well, what a chance. Hartson, I thought he just couldn't get up high enough, but certainly it goes down. There's another chance. He thought he might have just headed that in from, what, 2 yards?
Say the survival of the fittest, which is part and parcel of a very important sporting occasion, but I think it's also the survival of those who can hold on to the nerve under this kind of pressure. Amoroso fending off Larsson as he had to. Remember the goal that Larsson scored last season in a 1-1 with Robert Malcolm, and Henrik Larsson showing it wasn't just skill that got him the goal, but he could use his weight and that very sturdy physique of his. I think that Amoroso realised he had to need it pound for pound. Ferguson with that little touch. Well, you get the throw in for that. I think he must be concerned about the way they've started off. Yes, they did have their chances, but I think the pressure has been more sustained at the Rangers' end. There's an elbow in there.
Yeah, it has, and I'm so surprised that after 20-odd minutes or so that we haven't had a goal yet. The amount of clear-cut chances that have been created.
Halfway through this first half, virtually. Thompson will take this. Well, just touched on there, and Larsson did very well against Amoroso, who's holding his ankle. Well, the Celtic support, no question, they're in better song at the moment. just get the impression that Celtic are gradually taking a firmer grip of this game. Kenigia. Free kick, yes. I think he made a meal of that, Kenigia, in the sense that he could have parted with the ball a little bit quicker. And noticeably, Ronaldo has hardly been in the game.
Yeah, and of course I think Alec has placed a lot of faith in him to turn it on tonight. He was rested on Saturday against Dundee to give him the full benefit of every chance of stamping his authority on the game, but as yet he hasn't really done much.
Konteman. Quickly turned by Newman. Konteman. Well, Konteman, one of the controversial signings by Vic Advocat, and never quite come off for him, to say the least. Amoroso. Big play by Newman. Read the danger very well. That's a better ball. Kenigia trying to go in there. Beautifully covered though by Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson read it well. The ball had a long way to travel and Thompson was already on his way, and he's in position just for a simple header back to his goalkeeper.
Hodgson did well to get up above there. And Hodgson again. Petrov. Moore putting it virtually anywhere. He didn't see Kenigia coming up there, to be honest. Arveladze. Well, Rickson started off in a run and then gave up. Well, Thompson playing mostly a defensive position down there.
Yeah, he is, but he's not afraid to do that. It's a hard shift playing that wing-back role, but he does have defensive capabilities, Thompson, and he doesn't shirk that responsibility.
There's a body pass there by Ferguson, trying to chip it forward. Here's Larsson. Larsson taking the two Rangers players with him, and Moore eventually keeping his cool and calm about him as he went forward.
It's wonderful play from Larsson. I mean, he's travelled 40, 50 yards there, taking his team from a defensive position just to the edge of the penalty area.
Well, we cannot overestimate the importance of the first goal, and given what we've had so far, I think it becomes even more crucial. Valhanen putting that in, and Rickson putting it almost anywhere. Hodgson's gone right off the pitch. He'll take that run on again, not effectively. Look of exasperation, might even be disorientation about Konteman at the moment. Way by Amoroso. Arveladze read it well enough. I think Balde wanted to punt it right forward again. Interesting thing about Arveladze, he's been played on the left and the right by Rangers prior to this game. Well, almost got away with that, not that one. Free kick.
Again, a vital interception from Amoroso, because Larsson had almost rolled him there. He got Amoroso a bit too tight, but his long legs getting in there in the end. A vital interception.
Well, you know, they keep talking about, quite rightly, Larsson's great skill and his ball play inside the box, but he's nevertheless a very physical player. He can look after himself. Here's Lovenkrantz. Welby's with them. Still Lovenkrantz. Konteman. Ferguson. De Boer. Kenigia. Arveladze, wrong side of Kenigia. typical of a lot of the play I've seen from Rangers recently. Good build-up, close passing. Here's Rickson. On to Kanigia. He's round him, and there's Lobenkrantz. Newman took his eye off it. I think he had his eye on goal as well. Lobenkrantz, and that's a poor pass. Interesting build-up there by Rangers all the same, beginning to string some passes together.
Yeah, I think it was more controlled, and the link-up play with Arveladze and Kanigia evident there, and I think that is the type of play that Alec McLeish is looking to get more of from his players, but I think the final effort at goal must be there as well.
Looking a little bit forlorn out there, waiting for something to happen, and I think the referee makes it a free kick.
I think he's changed things slightly. Actually, I think Alec's going with 4 at the back now. I think he's a bit concerned with the amount of play that Celtic have had, the amount of chances they've created, and he's asking Newman and Rickson to do a bit more defensive work.
Kanigia. Newman realised that Lobenkrantz was coming up behind him. Gets a corner kick out of that. And I think if Rangers ply this man with the ball, he has the speed to stretch any defence. Njobi wasn't quite sure when to go in.
Yeah, and he gives Rangers that penetration that they've maybe been lacking in earlier Old Firm games.
There's a shot in and just passed. Well now, Rickson normally goes across there to take the corner kicks. Decided to go for it himself.
Yeah, it's another wonderful effort. I think Alan Thompson knew it was going slightly wide, but a wonderful effort nevertheless. Celtic just caught sleeping a wee bit, a 2v1 over in the corner, and Rickson, it's a good effort at goal. He struck it well enough.
I think it looked to me as if there was a deflection there, but obviously not. Larson slips up an Atlan. Lobenkrantz just got it back to Douglas. He coped with that one under pressure. Here's De Boer. Oh, just a slip. There goes Arveladze, realising the danger when Agat gets the ball at his feet, even in midfield. Larson finding himself in that position. Ferguson with a little touch. Celtic mopping up a lot, and that's a free kick. As Ferguson late in. That ball was played away out to the left-hand side.
Yeah, again, nothing malicious. I think a 50-50 ball. Lambert just nicked it in front of Ferguson, but a foul and nothing more. So far, I think the referee's got a firm grip on the game.
Alan Thompson might fancy a dab at goal here. He has a tremendous shot, and then of course beside him still in Petro. I think Stefan Klos still has nightmares about his last game at Ibrox as Thompson. He had to get that one cleanly. Any mistake and the Predators were pouncing.
Well, that's the importance of a solid goalkeeper, not giving any spillages there to forwards that are coming in, because it's just as easy to spill that one to the feet of the forward.
Yes, Kanigia try to go for that. Now Ferguson. De Boer. Konteman. Well, Arveladze very careless with that ball forward. Arveladze is a very intelligent player at times, but I've noticed recently in the last couple of games he's just a little bit impetuous when he parts with the ball. He could take a little more time on it himself.
I think though Arveladze is happier in that position, almost as one of the main strikers up front there with Kanigia, but Alec, I think, demanding that he takes a touch and be a bit more secure in that final third so that they can build a bit more.
Thompson again with this free kick. Big men haven't gone forward. He didn't mean that one. Amoruso away with it. Pullers over. Paul Lambert. That's a good touch on. Several times Hodgson has won in the air like that. Newman. There's had to be a free kick and there might be a booking. Certainly a lecture from the referee. Yeah, that was quite deliberate.
It's just a foul. I don't think there's any need to pull out any yellow cards, and I think credit to the
benevolent man, Andy.
Well, credit to the players. I think that both sets of players are fully committed, but there's been nothing malicious in my view.
Free kick. Thompson certainly getting his money's worth tonight for that. Nobby was up there. De Boer can't get hold of it properly. De Boer tends to make a mistake like that and then look for someone else to blame. Hudson. That's a goal kick. Well, running there by Petrov, who wasn't too happy about it either. That's about 10 minutes left of this half. And very difficult to contain your passion for the game. This man's been in trouble, of course, after that first Champions League game. This time Arveladze with the Balde free kick to Celtic. Leonard to take this. Moore. Tried to put it there. Well, I think the Celtic players thinking that Moore had the last touch. Not perturbed about that. Man who travels thousands of miles for his football. Well, that took a little bobble. Rickson is there though. Not the most intelligent of clearances. Great play by Amoruso. And Kanigia is after this. Douglas. Thompson kept that in well. That's free kick. Almost two players in a turmoil. Both pulling each other. Catch as catch can, going Rangers' way this time.
I think Alec there at the edge of the touchline having a word with Craig Moore. I think he's still concerned about the defensive aspect of things.
So Moore to take this. Got it played square. Doing the attacking. Here's Arveladze. Now Ferguson. Not strong enough. Newman. De Boer. Ferguson finding it very difficult to get the opening. Arveladze almost puts it through there, and that, I think, is a free kick for the final challenge there by Newman. And again, Rangers picking their way almost as if through a minefield to try and get a clearance, and he couldn't get it cleanly. Yeah,
a wonderful touch though from Arveladze trying to set up Newman, who'd gone to try and help the strikers, and it's decent enough play for Rangers, but I think it concerns Alec that they're not really getting a final effort at goal.
A little more enthusiasm at the other end. Ferguson held that well. Moore. This time getting more distance. De Boer with a little touch. Good play by De Boer that time. I think Rangers need more than just neatness. Certainly need concentration. Rollingkrantz taking his eye right off that. Another free kick. This time Celtic's way. I think they've decided to push Balde forward this time. He's remained at the back for most of these free kicks taken from midfield, but he's going up this time. There's a little touch on! And it came off Balde eventually. And yet again, getting in behind that vulnerable-looking Rangers defence.
Well, it's a wonderful touch from Larsson, but I can't believe that Conterman has left that to his goalkeeper with a Celtic attacker in attendance. He's the first man there. I think he's got to clear that.
And it goes to Newman, to Conterman. Popping it back almost anywhere. Gap with a tremendous run there. Almost in, it's just past. Beaten on the outside and beaten in the air again. Rangers defence survives miraculously.
Well, that's why Agat is put straight back into the team. Fantastic pace. No one can catch him. Amarusa does his best, but he's still a yard short. The header from Larsson just slightly off target. Wonderful play from Celtic.
And barely a challenge from Rickson. I mean, he must have realised that he's going in against one of the best headers in the business. Shadow boxing. No free kick. And round by De Boer. Marusso. Van Jobe. Rollingkrantz got up for it. Trying to find Knidja, and he does. Vardy comes right in, but there's Rickson. Arveladze. Well now, why did he ponder on the ball so much?
Well, it's another wonderful chance from Rangers. Good build-up play. Douglas does well there. Eventually, I think he gets the break of the ball. Arveladze just taking a bad touch, but Arveladze managing to lose Bobo Balde just inside the box there.
Rickson unable to manage this. Ferguson. There's a run by Knidja. And it goes, it should be cleared, and there's Van Yalbe, who plugged that gap. And that was solid and very physical play by Ferguson in midfield. Here's Rickson. On the break. Larsson with it. Moore trying to go with them. Again, a little bit too obvious that time. De Boer. And Ferguson just happy to punt it away.
It's very end-to-end actually. The pass just a minute or so ago from Ferguson to set Knidja on the right-hand side was beautiful. And that there, again, Celtic coming back at them. And it's just the pace.
Oh, Knidja just offside.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's the pace of Agat that frightens Rangers so much.
Just how long he can keep this going. As I said, in his mid-30s he played a very running game against Dundee on Saturday. Curling ball in again, and I think backing in this time Hartson. There you see the contact.
Yeah, and it's well spotted by the referee.
Always a danger in these balls, though. Conterman pushing it out here. Rickson De Boer to Kontova. Into Lovenkrands on that far side. Almost getting that inside, and Newman taken out of it there. Weak play, I thought, by De Boer again. He picks that one up though, and Arveladze gave up. Getting it forward. Oh, Amaruso just a little bit too clever by half. He could have cleared that. Offside. Archon took up a very good position for that diagonal pass.
Yeah, it was a close call, but the linesman's got it right. I think Hartson away just a yard or two early.
Free kick. Amaruso to take. As I said, he tried not just to intercept there, he tried to flick the ball round a man, got himself in bother. Arveladze. Solid tackling down there by Lennon. Here's Ferguson. That's a free kick. They're launching himself there at De Boer. And the referee, watch this one.
Well, I think the referee is taking the view that he's gone through the player to win the ball, and if that's the case, then he's quite right to call it for a foul.
I think through would be a polite way of putting it, Andy.
His head is still intact.
Yeah, that's when you start counting the bones again.
Yeah, you can see there, I think it's a clear foul. Baldy, of course, wins the ball in the end, but he's failed the player in the process.
I've seen better efforts at Beecher's Brook. Now, free kick.
It's a vital time, I think. We're just on the verge of half-time. If Rangers were to score here, what a lift it would give them.
Well, Amaruso likes to take the free kicks, there's no question about that, unless Rangers have got something up their sleeve. Normally it's the occupants of row X in the stand that should be worrying about it, given some of the free kicks he's taken in the past, but he has scored with some. Referee almost fussily putting that back just a little bit. Hovering over it. There's a little touch through. Caniggia was going up for that. And that's in just in. Robert Crowns has opened the scoring for Rangers. What an opportunist goal. We said the first goal was going to be crucial. It looked as if the defence would clear that. And in comes Lovenkrands to creep it round the end of the defence.
Yeah, well, it certainly wasn't what they intended from the free kick, but they got the break of the ball, and Lovenkrands so sharp he got onto the end of that, squeezing it in at the far post, and Rangers, they've got what they wanted, they've got that vital first goal.
And Barry Ferguson clapping his hands together in satisfaction with that. It looked as if it was going to be another inept free kick. Good header down there, and Lovenkrands, to his credit, stuck to his task. Never say die. And he gets his first joyful moment in his first Old Firm match as the players trot off at half-time. And there is a sensational ending to this half. A half, quite astonishingly, that can only boast one goal.
Yeah, it is astonishing. We've had maybe 5 or 6 clear-cut chances.
As we start the second half, and quite clearly Celtic will want, as the cup holders and going, of course, for that treble, will want to fight back as quickly as they can. Newman, just a little touch. Taken away. Well, forced into doing that. I think the referee got this way more than anything else. However, just to reiterate what they were saying in the panel, Andy is entertaining a The first half we've seen in an Old Firm game for a long while.
Yeah, I think it's been magnificent. Wonderful advert for Scottish football. Goal-mouth incident at either end, and it's just a pity we only managed to get a one goal.
Ferguson. Moore. Arveladze took his eye off that. Caniggia will be in after it. Free kick, yes. A little push there. Eases the pressure on that Celtic defence. He lays himself about as well for a wee fella.
Yeah, he does. You've got to do that. But again, credit to Kenny Clark. He's called it right. And everyone, I think, is playing well tonight, including the ref.
Petrov couldn't quite get hold of that. Arveladze not strong enough with it. Could have been an interesting one there.
Well, that was a chance actually,
It
because
was
the
a real
space
chance.
was all in behind him. If it was hit a bit further on, then Lovenkrands had the run on the Albi there.
Conterman grabbing that down well. Good clearance there by Lambert, coming in very strongly. Caniggia. That's the throw-in. I said a very odd atmosphere with the half of the Celtic end not being used tonight. Massive Celtic supporters were in the far side where normally they have 50-50 support. Pushed there by Hartson, free kick. Remember, we have on the bench Chris Sutton and Bobby Petta and Lubomir Moravcik. And for Rangers, Torrendry Flo, Neil McCann, Tony Bidman, Stephen Hughes. Ferguson. That's taking off a little bit too late that time. Caniggia. Done well inside. Look at that good defensive work again by Lennon. Propping up. Arveladze can't get to that one. Now, Arthur Newman. Lovenkrands, very slack ball indeed. Gave the impression he simply wanted to get rid of it. Thompson. Back in that left back row. Not quite the spectacular start to this half that we had for the first. Mjolby in after it. He did very well, Mjolby. Turning under pressure there. De Boer. Just gets away with it. Arveladze popping up on his left-hand side. No free kick, and it was a very poor ball by Arveladze. He had De Boer just inside.
I think it's a ploy of Rangers though to try and exploit that area down their left-hand side. If Lovenkrands can keep that width, then I think it asks a question of the Celtic back three about just their starting positions and their defending.
Arveladze, as I said, operating for Rangers in the last few games. I've seen him right across the front, on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, and through the middle. Larson. Ball's gone over though. Larson trying to connect with the man who showed that blistering turn of pace again. It's really remarkable. He's been out of the game for 3 months, yet he has that ability to go through like that. Amoroso just getting away with that. Just taken out there. De Boer couldn't get to it. Here's Moore. That's a brilliant ball if Kenigia can pick it up. Just gets in there. Ferguson can't get it. He ran beyond it. Just came in just a little bit too quickly. Oh, referee still waving play on here. Arbaladze. Not the best ball by De Boer. Needed a little more loft in it. Good spell for Rangers this.
Yeah,
playing confidently now.
They're playing a lot of good football. I think Barry Ferguson having a word with the referee about that challenge from Neil Lennon, and Neil Lennon not too happy with Barry Ferguson going to the referee like that. It's resulted in a booking for Barry Ferguson and Neil Lennon.
Well, I said right at the start we had an eruption right out of the blue last year. 3 people sent off, 10 yellow carded throughout that last game, and now for the first time in the game, despite the fact that, as you said, Andy, it's been competitive, it's been hard and very physical, but very fair so far.
Well, certainly that tackle from Lennon was very, very strong in on Ritson. Ritson certainly fell in front of it. And now we have Flo coming on with Ronald De Boer being off.
And I wonder if he was really rested at the weekend, or whether he's been suffering a slight injury. Maybe that's the evidence of it, I'm not sure.
I think he's just played poorly.
Flo is on now. Cross it goes, Arbaladze. Rickson. Flag is up though for offside.
I think now Alec McLeish's trying to ask a question of that Celtic back three. Flo will go up for spearhead right through the middle. Kenigia trying holding that wide right place, and Lovenkrands, coming from a deeper position on the left, but still trying to keep a wide area.
Touched on. Larson can't get through there. Another free kick. Amoroso's not at all happy about it, but the free kick awarded to Celtic. Here it is. And just bounced off the ball, free kick. And Celtic, of course, exploit these so often in a situation like this, exactly in this dome. Henrik Larsson is up for this. So is Thompson. A little bit of a confab about it. Balde has gone right into the defensive wall, standing right beside Amoruso. Thompson making the run, Larson with the shot. Moore should get this. Couldn't keep his balance though. Another dangerous situation there as Celtic try to retrieve this game. Long way to go yet, of course. Well, the referee has turned down that decision by his assistant. Only 2 at the back here, Balkaran, Torandri Flo with him. Rangers, I think, delayed there, thinking there might have been an offside flag. There's got to be a booking for Arbaladze for that. And now Kenny Clark has decided that he's got to imprint a little bit of discipline in this game. And there might be more cards to follow after that.
Well, he's forcing a guy to really hurdle him, and as you can see there, his right foot is high. And again, it's one Celtic, a free kick in a dangerous area.
Here's Thompson to take this, again just to the right-hand side of him. All Celtic's big men are up. Didn't quite get a hold of it. Again. who left that space open. There's a little flick across. Amoruso gets it away though. Rickson. The chase is on, and it should be there for Lennon. And he does that well, Lennon. He certainly pops up very often when Celtic have pushed the bigger players forward to mop up in that area. Flo got a little touch to that. Here's Lovenkrantz. Tries to touch it through the middle. He kept that ball very low. Here's a gap, doesn't get away with it. He had three Rangers players bearing down him. It shows you how intimidated they are by his presence.
Well, anyone would be intimidated by a player with that type of pace, and I think you're right when you said earlier on the game's not finished, actually, because I think Celtic will still go forward, create some chances.
Larson, quick thinking there by Larson, seeing the open space. There's Amoruso, doesn't mess about with that one, and here's Caniggia. Balkaran's got blistering pace as well, of course, and just as well. Yep. Tremendous long ball.
It was a good race. Balkaran just got there in the end.
We're getting down to it. The referee says free kick again. I think it's going to get even more physical as this game goes along. Thompson, I think, will take this again. Hodgson signalling for the ball. There he goes for it. Amoruso comes away with that. Stabs at forward Caniggia. Arveladze. Great play by Petrov. Rangers just being a little too neat and tight there with the play. I think offside is given. For a moment, the Celtic players imagined they were getting a free kick out of that. Amoruso to take this. Rangers playing it away. Downfield. Certainly don't think they expected a free kick like that, though. Great play by Agat. Can he lay it off? He does. And just take it away. Brilliant play by Agat. And in three instances in this game, he has taken the Rangers defence apart.
Yeah, even coming inside, he's just as effective as he has gone down the outside of defenders. Wonderful play from Agat.
Valdev. Caniggia picks it up. Claiming a little deflection. He's not going to get that, though. An irate Argentine, and they can be irate. Free kick this time for Rangers as Hodgson totally misjudged that. Remember, Hodgson almost joined Rangers at one stage. Scored 16 goals this season for the club, and despite the fact that they're missing Sutton, that's not a bad effort for a man coming in to fill his shoes. Amoruso. Well, I don't think Balkaran needed to do that. Caniggia. Rangers get the corner kick. He really is tenacious, Caniggia, you know. He's very deceptive. He looks fragile at times, and then suddenly gets that little spot in against a defence. Yeah, he's got a gear just over 5-10 yards. It's very, very sharp, and he's still very alert. A lot of swing in it. A little bit too high, and for the Rangers. No way that Will was going to win that. Arveladze wanted it. or so. Forced into that by the presence of Lennon. Well, that's given against Arveladze again. Instead of complaining about it, he should get on with the game. They'll try the high one. Where they're by Ferguson. So the Rangers again very tight down there. Celtic pressing on him as soon as he get the ball in an open position. Arveladze dwelling on it just a little bit too much. Pressurized, not surprisingly, by Lennon. Away by Moore. Straight in there, the two players colliding though. Straight into the goalkeeper, and that was purely accidental.
Yeah, it was just a few of them there. Cross, Moore and Larson getting involved, but that's just a complete accident.
Very freakish, and I think Moore is really suffering. Yes, he's off. Well, that is a mighty blow there to Rangers if he does go off. Watch us again now. Let's see what it might have been.
I think possibly his shoulder was taking the brunt of it there, and I think even as soon as he'd hit the ground, he signalled to the dugout that he was in some pain. It's a blow for Rangers because I think Moore's been very strong tonight. He's handled Larson and Hartson pretty well. You know, on the one-to-ones, he's not made any glaring mistakes, and that's a bit of a blow for Rangers.
Well, it may well be they have to put Arthur Newman into centre defence. I mean, he's played there before.
Well, I think the natural replacement would be Tony Vidmar.
So there he is now, yeah, Vidmar.
And he's played a lot of games recently. I don't think it's any real loss to Rangers. I think Vidmar is of equal quality, and
but it's reorganisation.
Yeah, it is. It is.
There he goes. Well, the Australian who's played his part in this game tonight very valuably, and who had his best season for Rangers a couple of seasons ago, I think, taking no further part in this. And there, Alec McLeish was a great central defender in his own right, passing on instructions. And significantly, Chris Sutton is coming on for Celtic.
Well, I don't think Martin O'Neill will change the shape of the team. I'm sure it's got to be Hartson that's coming off.
Yes, he comes off. He's not too happy about it, I don't think.
No, he's not. He's disappointed. The head's down. But I think Martin O'Neill feels that Sutton has a bit more mobility than Hartson. Hartson, of course, had that excellent chance in the opening minute, almost scored. And there's just such a fine line between being a hero and I think Hartson's still disappointed.
Now, he's only played, I think, an under-21 game for an hour before tonight, and he's been off for virtually 3 months again, I think it was. And
yeah, he has, but I think Martin O'Neill will be looking for the same type of impact in the last half hour or so that Agat has given in the first hour.
Again, can't quite get hold of that. Now Newman. Go to Agat. Taken by Sutton. Pushed away there. Torrenry flow. Arveladze. Very poor ball by Arveladze. You know, he's a contrast, this man. He can sometimes be very, very brilliant, and then sometimes just slack in his play.
Yeah, well, I think he's a better player when he's playing as the main striker. He's been asked now since Flo's introduction to come into a more withdrawn role and play passes, and I don't think that's his strength.
Conterman, Flo just Pushes that away. That'll be a free kick. And I think the referee will have a word of chastisement for the big Dutchman, who was very, very late. Don't know why he's complaining about it.
Yeah, it's a clear foul. I think more clumsy than anything else.
So Thompson again. Sutton does get his head in. And Tony Vidmar gets his first touch of the game.
Well, Vidmar very alert, because that second ball is dangerous. Sutton wins it at the back post. Larsson's almost on the end of it, but Vidmar, he's alive to it.
Well, Sutton coming into the game immediately, as does Tony Vidmar. I'm not sure if he enjoyed it all that much, but at least he gets a satisfaction of the last touch. Who just touched away. Kinigia on his own. Brushed away by Valkaren, trying to push that forward. Larsson. Again defended there by Conterman as Celtic put Rangers on the rack again. Great play by Larsson.
Wonderful play from Larsson, and he's equally as strong in his left as he is on his right, trying to get a cross in there to the front post, but well defended.
Petrov on the far side. Just touched away, and too many players in there, and I think that's a throw to Celtic.
Well, it looked as though it was blocked by Mjällby.
I did think so. Let's see. Yeah, I think he got the last touch. Lovenkrantz. Yes, he'll get a free kick for that. Mjällby late as Lovenkrantz tried to go through. Now, Lovenkrantz is going to be a big asset, given that Celtic are pushing forward, leaving spaces there.
Yeah, he is, and he's the type of player that can take it from a defensive position with his pace. He's close control, taking it past that middle third into the last third, but on that occasion, he just eases the pressure by winning a foul.
We are told that Craig Moore's injury is a hamstring. I know he has suffered from that in the past. So basically it was that, even though it looked like a collision injury. There's Amoroso. There's going to be a free kick. Larsson is pushing. Sees the funny side of it. There's the elbow into the back. Free kick. Sometimes referees book players for kicking the ball away.
I don't know what Sutton is thinking about, just kicking the ball away there like that. I think he feels as though Amoroso is stealing a couple of yards, but my goodness, he's 20 yards from his own goal.
Does get a wee bit niggly at times, doesn't it? Well, given all the passion and the excitement of this game, if we can keep it down to the odd niggle, I don't think that'll be too bad. Conterman. And Rangers are being forced to defend a bit deeply. Amoroso again. And he seemed to get that in the head from Sutton. Yeah, so need the stretcher on again. Well, Rangers' two central defenders going through the mill.
Yeah, Amoroso's taking a sore one there. I didn't quite see what the problem was there, but certainly Sutton trying to get involved as much as he can since coming on just 5-10 minutes ago.
Well, I think he's going to be all right. Sutton, the tall, commanding figure, who's getting involved in a needle as well.
Well, I think with the last 20 minutes or so, there'll be plenty more needle.
Amoroso has to go off, of course, as Conterman launches that forward. Well, Flo had to get that ball, because I think Agat was going to try and exploit the fact that Amoroso wasn't at that moment on the field. Just blocked off. Sutton. Conterman with it. Nobody in there for Rangers though. Balde away with it. Conterman.
Yeah, I think it's a clear foul, and I think the referee's quite right to boot him as well. I think he knew what he was doing there.
A bit fortunate because he's been in the wars before.
Yeah, he's a bit fortunate he's not picked up a yellow card earlier on, but certainly he deserved a yellow there.
Another free kick. That's about 10 free kicks that Thompson has taken. That usual milling around in the penalty area. All the Celtic big men up again. And the referee judges that to be a push. And I think Lubo Moravcik is about to come on.
Well, I think there it's a matter of Sutton getting on the end of that one. It's the second ball that I think that concerns everyone.
Well, Paul Lambert, the Celtic captain, comes off to make way for the man who's decided that he'll finish with Celtic at the end of this season. The man who was sent off last season in this very game after a clash with Claudio Reyna.
Well, I think Lambert's had an excellent season tonight. I think he's been pretty quiet, and Celtic now looking for the genius of Moravcik to try and create something for them.
It's a right-footed clearance by Arthur Newman. Terrible ball by Newman, putting his side into difficulties. Trying to get back at it. And I don't think they're going to get the free kick, but they are going to get a corner kick. And yet again, Arthur Newman putting his side in difficulty. Remember that occasion right at the start of the game.
Yeah, well, it's a corner for Celtic, and I think in these last 18, 20 minutes or so, they'll be looking to try and make close, do a bit of work.
And it goes, it's almost there. No, it's in. I think it was Balde who got the final touch.
Well, I think Kloss has chased the referee back to the centre spot there, and he's been booked for his trouble. Kenny Clark showing Stefan Kloss the yellow card there, but Bobo Balde, you see the ball coming in, it just floats around that penalty box, and there doesn't look to be anything wrong with that. It's an equaliser for Celtic.
There he goes, going in, he misses the ball, Niobe comes in as well. There's a ricochet, and he reaches out, just gets the touch, and then it goes one each.
I think Kloss was a bit concerned with the fact that Niobe possibly holding him down. I think that was his complaint, but I think it's a fair enough goal.
Don Caniggia. Just brushed away, throw to Celtic. There's Caniggia arguing with the referee now. He was incensed at losing that. A scrambly goal, but the old count. Lovenkrands. Caniggia. Well, Rangers get the free kick for that one. Really is going to be a pulsating last 15 minutes of this game. Taking his time about it this time, Lovenkrands. Touched in, I think, goal kick. Well, you get the feeling that Celtic scoring exactly when they did will really be flowing now.
Well, I think it's always like Celtic to be very strong in the latter stages. I think there's an element of trust with Martin O'Neill and the fact that his players will give him everything. I think it can still go either way. There's 15 minutes to go. I think Rangers still have all the better players on the night. They're still on the park, and it's anyone's match.
Here's Lovenkrands coming in now. Penalty kick. Balde concedes a penalty. Lovenkrands running right through there, and what's the challenge?
Well, it's pretty... I think Lovenkrands certainly had the pace of Balde, and there's no doubt that Lovenkrands gets the first touch. Can certainly understand why the referee's given it.
So, who takes the penalty kick? I think it's going to be Albaladze. Albaladze looks likely to come up to take perhaps one of the most important penalties he's ever had to take. A lot of consultation. And Robert Douglas trying to make himself as tall and as impassable as he can. Albaladze against Douglas. Well, that sums it up. What an opportunity, and quite simply, Albaladze throws.
Well, he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, but I think the biggest thing for any penalty taker is you've got to hit the target. He's hit that high, he's hit it well, he struck it well enough. Too well possibly, but as high as clipped the top of the bar and gone over. A real let-off for Celtic. What a chance for Rangers.
Play down again, Newman can't get hold of it. A lot of cob in it. Picked up by Ferguson now. Rickson. Down to Kanigia. Well tackled Albaladze right out of this game. Here's Ferguson. Flo. Little touch inside and just cleared away.
Well, what a clearance from Balde just on the line. Flo got the touch.
Larson can't quite get there. Picked up by Newman. Tremendous game we're having. Kanigia let that ball overrun him. Here's a clearance again. Little touch. And then came back just to get that away.
Well, you have to say Douglas has got to win that ball for Celtic. Flo's done well to get a toe there, and Balde back clearing off the line, but that should have been Douglas's ball.
Yobi. Larson. Well, I think Close might have been able to get that.
Yeah, I think a bit of indecision in the Rangers defence. I think with things going against him, Arthur Newman taking no chances. Agat, of course, with his pace all the time. Newman doesn't know where he is, and he just decides to play safe.
Thompson got across here. Agat beside him. It's a decent ball in. Amoroso had to get back. Here's Ferguson. Picked up by Kanigia. Oh, and he couldn't part with the ball. Rickson was away in the right-hand side. And Kanigia's going to be booked. And it's all about keeping your discipline now, both the game plan, the team structure, and your personal discipline, and he's got to watch it.
Well, I think that's just the foul of a very tired man. He's ran his heart out tonight for Rangers, but I think the chance there was to settle on the Rangers players free on the right, and I think the frustration got the better of him, and it was just a very tired foul from Kinesia.
Once again, a Thompson free kick. It's almost been assembly line stuff by him tonight. Played away. Again, foolishly on the edge of the box. No penalty kick. Paul Hannon was going in for it.
Yeah, the pass in here from Sutton. Boharan takes a touch, but never a penalty.
Low. Need enough headed by four. He needed somebody beside him, though. Newman. Well, I'm sure he's done that, taken balls like that a dozen times at that very expensive training centre up there. Murray Stadium. Ferguson. Well, Moravcik almost caught him with it. No, it's a poor ball now, Moravcik. He can't quite get it there. That's slack play by Rangers again.
Yeah, it was a wonderful set-up from Chris Sutton. He knew that Larsson was offside. Larsson ignored it. The first touch from Moravcik's a good one, but Amoruso's defending is excellent.
Innumerable corners they've had. Moravcik. Disappointing that time. Straight, direct one. Lennon is after this. So is Lovenkrantz, so is Knigia. He tries a little lob. Well, it was intelligent enough.
Yeah, great effort from Knigia. I think the worry there is that the ball has travelled so far and so high that it bounces. I thought it was a decent effort from Knigia, just slightly overhit.
Well, it could go anyway this game. You just feel, though, that Celtic, having scored that later goal, survived the penalty, now have the initiative.
Well, I think it's a real test of Rangers' character. They did well to win themselves a chance to be back in front, but they've now missed that golden opportunity from the penalty, and have they still got enough in them to come back?
Gat. Well, a silly tackle by Lovenkrantz. Tempting ball again. Played by Amoruso. Knigia has to leave it go. That's Valdi. Ferguson gets a free kick out of it. Now, on to Conterman. Here's Lovenkrantz. Newman. In goes Newman, and brushed aside. Didn't have enough physical strength to take on that Celtic defence. Free kick. Again, the clash between the two big men there, Sutton and Amoruso.
Yeah, it's a fascinating contest, but I just feel as though on that occasion it was 50-50, but the refs opted to give Celtic a foul.
Just over 5 minutes remaining. There will be stoppage time. And Moravcik, well, as I said, he played 76 minutes against the Hibs on Saturday. People were surprised that perhaps, given how well he plays against Rangers, that he was used so long in that game.
Both sides now very animated dugouts. Alan McLeish right at the edge of the track side. Steve Walford's just been out as well, urging the players for one last effort in these last 5 minutes.
Well, I think Alvaladze's in a very poor game. He's had one or two good runs, but made a lot of mistakes as well. He gave that ball away. very easily. Carelessly given away again. Rickson. Oh, too many players going in there for it. Newman beaten for it. Here's a gap. Well, he did get it across, and Lawson's almost there. Rickson away with it. Low. Lovenkrantz. Now played to Rickson. Rickson getting into a Fankel, though he did have a little bit of freedom, and there the play is stopped.
Yeah, I think it's Tony Vidmar has taken a knock in his own penalty area. He's down, and that's why the referee has halted play.
Well, he's suffering as well. Well, certainly in terms of the personnel, the Pigs haven't been kind to Ali McLeish, losing Craig Moore when he did, and Vidmar's looking none too happy either. Just waiting a report from the physio there, the ambulance men poised on the sidelines waiting to come in here.
Well, I think the players will be glad of the short respite. It's at a late stage in the game. They'll just get into the last few minutes. I think all the players have put a magnificent amount of effort into the game. We're still undecided as to who's going to get through to the final, and it looks as though we may be having to go into extra time.
Oh, it's been a great game, very enjoyable. There's so often in an Old Firm game has been passionate, but without too many incidents in the penalty area. Tonight something different. What a classy encounter, far from it. Well, Vidmar, I think, is trying to run this off, or is he going to be replaced? I think he'll make it. He's getting that last treatment there. Lovenkrantz. So to Celtic. And Vidmar comes back off. For the last couple of minutes, but there will be a lot of stoppage time. 4 minutes of stoppage time allocated. Bad one, Abdeladze picks it up. Vidmar just comes off him. Newman getting into a little bit of a Fankel again, but he wants to send Lovenkrantz away. Well, at this stage of the game, he must realise he's getting very close to the final whistle. They don't take any chance, he just out the park with it. No. Newman, not a bad ball, and allowed to go across there by Thompson. And all he can do is put it over now. Rickson looking for a little bit of support here. Newman. Caught in possession again, Newman. That'll be a free kick. Tried to play a little bit of football.
Yeah, Newman's picked up a yellow card as well for that foul.
Well, he realised he made a mistake. Trying to get himself out of it. Up goes Baldi again for this. Although Sutton is signalling for it. Just off the top of the head of Bidmar. Well, I don't think he's got full freedom of movement to Bidmar. I think that handicapped him there. But he's got to stick to his task. There's Manavchik. Just a little touch there. That was all that was needed to clear it. Rangers defence under pressure again. Aaron will try to get some length on this. Played into Kanigia. Away he goes. Tries to go through in his own Lovenkrantz. Well, I think he gets a corner kick, but again, Kanigia could have parted with it sooner.
Well, I thought it was good play from Kanigia. He worked that ball well from a defensive area. He's got his team a corner, and it's exactly where you want the ball to be when you're going deep into injury time.
Arthur Newman getting a little bit of encouragement from the support down at the corner. And Rickson to take it. Well, easily taken by Douglas. And it looks to me as if Amoruso's injured as well. In fact, I think he's finished.
Yeah, a lot of the players very concerned. There's obviously something that's happened, and it looks as though Amoruso's caught a bad one.
Now, immediately that happened, Neil Lennon signalled to the Rangers dugout. Watch it again, here he goes. Yeah, he holds his thigh there, so it might be a torn muscle. So, minus Amoruso.
I think it's always a worry when as soon as the player goes down, his hand goes up almost immediately to signal that something's gone, possibly snapped a muscle there, but certainly Neil Lennon showing his concern immediately.
Well, given what Celtic can do in the air and the power they put into it and the special qualities they have, Rangers without Amoruso, it's like, you know, somebody giving up their shield.
Yeah, and it's a hard task for Stevie Hughes to come on and into such an occasion, possibly going into half an hour of extra time, a cup final at stake. There's a lot rests on his young shoulders.
Well, now, Amoruso in fact has decided to sack the ambulance crew, and I think he may want to try and carry on.
Well, I think a lot of players don't like to be seen to be stretchered off, and you can see him there. He wants that bandage off. He wants to try and get back onto the pitch. You see there, it's I don't know what it is.
You did fail your medical studies, Andy. I realise I didn't want to tell the public that.
Not a doctor. Stick to what you know.
There's Duman. Flo can't get it. And there goes the whistle for 90 minutes of pulsating action. Really exciting game here. And of course, we will be back to give you the full coverage of extra time in a marvellous semi-final. Back to Hampden Park. Remember, it's 1 each after 90 minutes. We're into extra time. We'll be staying with this right through to the end, even if it's penalty kicks. And the news is that Amoruso has apparently recovered from that. He was given a lot of treatment by the ambulance men then, as I said, dismissed them. So he's still in the Rangers side. And a man who's sunk to his knees at 90 minutes is the man who just hooked that ball rather aimlessly out of play. Arveladze.
Well, I thought he was pretty effective in the first half, actually, when he was playing in his favoured role as a striker up there with Kanigia. Now he's been asked to play in a more withdrawn role, trying to make passes, make things work, and I don't think that's his strength at all.
Here's Quantaman. Was handling there, but I think it was accidental. Amoruso gets his first touch, comes away with it. overdoes it. Now Baladze down there now. Continue. Ferguson. Flow. Oh, that was rather panicky. I saw no need for that.
I think it was tiredness more than anything else.
Flow. Held on to that well and then takes it away. Moravcik. Going through the middle, and Larson, maybe again lack of proper strength there, running out of energy, and he just couldn't quite dab it through. Sutton. There's Kloss. Took that tentatively again. Ferguson. Try to poke that through Tottenham. Oh, I think you'll see the pace gradually slowing, Andy.
Yeah, I think so. I think both sets of players have given absolutely everything tonight, but you've got to find that wee bit extra if you want to win an Old Firm semi-final.
Well, certainly Vidmar seems to have recovered all right. There he is, getting the tackle in. That's a good ball by Lennon. Amoruso comes across though. Well, that's a free kick. And that could have been a tangle that led to more than a loving embrace.
Yeah, it's a stupid foul from Sutton. He's never going to win that ball. He's possibly trying to just put a bit of pressure on Amoruso, test that injury of his, and I think the one thing with Amoruso is that if that is holding him back, he does tend to drop off a bit too deep, and that can always be dangerous.
Van Yalby, there's Rickson. Continent. Simply gives the ball away again. Magat. Well, I think in the middle of the field, if you're playing at this particular juncture of the game, the passes have got to be very precise. Continent certainly isn't that in midfield. Free kick to Celtic. Sutton did get the header in. Konteman there, stabbing it almost anywhere, just getting it away from the penalty area. Yalby. That goes over though. I think he expected a gap to take off down the right hand side again. Still both sets of supporters urging the teams on. I think that's over, and a throw to Rangers. Low. Kenigia nowhere near it though, and that's very cutely turned back by Thompson. I think this will be especially hard on the players who haven't played for some time. You know, although Agat's not playing constantly in this game, he's coming into it in flurries. Another free kick now. I think at this stage players ought not to complain to the referee and just get on with it. Another test, another time when Baldi is up, and Valcheren, and Sutton, and away by Amoruso. Yes, that'll be a free kick. Rickson, as I said, he shouldn't complain about it. I think he was saying that Moravcik was backing into him, but he won't get away with it. Alvarado. Amoroso's up. And down comes the Rangers goalkeeper, very, very quick off his line that time. Bad ball out by Cross, though. Ferguson. Ferguson again. Giving Celtic time to regroup all the same. Here's Kinigia. Going to be the deflection on that. Alvarado. Go to Celtic though. Kinigia, very good run by Kinigia initially to get into that corner. Alvarado. Ferguson. Conterman. Got a play by Rangers, opening it out, getting it into space. Conterman. With a chip through, almost got to Kinigia. There's Newman. Larson having to come back and defend. Here's Kinigia going in. Little ball across goal there, and Alvarado was going to be watched anyway by Thompson and couldn't get in there.
Yeah, it was a good spell for Rangers, starting the first period of extra time well, and all of the play in the last third, and Kinigia there, just a better ball to the back post, I think he was looking for there.
Newman can't get to it. Vedmar does. And that's going to be a booking, and that's really given. We're talking about his reputation going before him, but you don't even need to have a reputation going before you can do that.
Well, it's just one of those challenges that he should just step away from. He's not going to win the ball, and he's lucky that he hasn't been booked before, because that certainly merits a yellow card.
Free kick. Referee just taking his time about this, Barry Ferguson. I think might leave this to Amoroso. On to Conterman now. Kinigia, neat little touch to the outside. Decent enough ball to Newman. Trying to get a little bit of opening, and he does. Not a bad ball in, just defended there. Ferguson with a shot, there's a deflection. Good effort there by Ferguson. He's not noted for picking the ball up and scoring from these positions, but Balde getting in the way.
Yeah, tremendous effort from Ferguson. He struck that ball really well. I think it was going on target, but Balde's deflected it for a corner.
Bobbling ball, and Douglas should get it. It is fouled in the process. Free kick.
Well, it's actually the Celtic player that's got in his way, and I think Douglas is a bit lucky there.
Well, the referee nevertheless gives the free kick to Celtic. Well, I've been at many of these old firm affairs, many of them very, very tense. A few of them going into extra time, of course. There's Ferguson, good play by Ferguson. Can't get away with the pass, though. But this is building up to a great climax. Newman. Alvarado inside. There he is. Wanting Lovenkrands to get that across properly. There's Kinigia. Well, he took it out of the penalty area. Alvarado. There's a shot at side net. He took it very well with that left foot of his. Good ball played in there. Oh, he kind of poked at it.
Yeah, but great pass from Arveladze, threading that through there. Arthur Newman finding himself in a forward position.
It's well away. Conterman. He just launched himself anyway at that. Sutton. Amarache. Celtic on the break. Just played it a little bit too hard. Well, Rangers having a better spell at the moment.
Yeah, they are. I think Barry Ferguson's been able to get himself on the ball, play some penetrating passes, really desperate to get his team back in front.
Newman across there, not quite sure how to take this. Arveladze, Ferguson, cleverly playing that out again. Here's Kenigia. Gregson. Well, beautifully taken by Douglas, and Torren Clough wasn't very far away from that. Only a whisker in it. Well, nobody covering. Where's Newman? That could have gone anywhere. He didn't have the strength, I don't think. The legs seemed to go from him.
No, he didn't, and his left foot is his weaker side anyway.
There's Kenigia looking for the little run through and just defended well by Mulvey. The provisional Celtic captain stemming that one. That could have been a beautiful and penetrating ball. Vedmar. There's a run forwards. Lovenkrantz doing very well inside the box. Well shielded there by Volker, and that was all the experience of a seasoned international.
Yeah, it was almost like the incident that won Rangers a penalty only on the opposite side, but that time Volharen had the measure of Lovenkrantz, and that's excellent defending.
Towards the halfway stage. Trying that longer ball again, and Baldi, a lot of spin and curve in that ball as he went for it. Played a notable part again, getting the touch for the Celtic goal, conceding a penalty, being booked. Life is never dull. Arveladze. There's Conterman. Oh, what a goal! A magnificent goal! Bert Conterman, of all people, the man who has been criticised, not to say ridiculed so often, puts Rangers in front with a tremendous strike.
Well, what a fantastic strike. The ball breaks him at the edge of the box. No one can stop that. Magnificent effort from Conterman. A much maligned player in the Rangers ranks, but put Rangers in front. Fantastic goal.
And now Celtic must come forward again. 2-1 behind in this extraordinary semi-final. Well, you'll like to see that again. I think he was like when his mammy first gave him his toffee and his...
Well, it's a sweet moment for Alan McLeish, but I think the last throw of the dice for Martinelli is possibly to put on Bobby Petr.
Having said that, for the last 10 minutes it was coming. I mean, Rangers were dominating the game.
Well, I think Barry Ferguson began to exert his authority in midfield. His passing was excellent. He was controlling the ball, controlling the tempo of the game. And I think he's been a vital player for Rangers tonight.
So, can Celtic fight back again? You wonder how long Kenigia can go, though. And Bobby Petr is coming on. Petrov comes off, and Bobby Petr, who was one of the men who really penetrated this Rangers defence in Martin O'Neill's first Old Firm game, ripped them apart with brilliant runs. He was accused of showboating, but on the other hand, he's a talented player who looked as if he would never make a mark at Celtic Park. O'Neill got something out of him.
Yeah, he is a talented player. I think he's been in and out of the Celtic side recently. He'll go to that left wing-back role. Alan Thompson, I think, will go into that favoured position of his of just left midfield.
There by Loben Krantz. Douglas comes out. More to come on this.
Well, I think you have to credit Rangers for getting back in front. They had that disappointment of missing the penalty. Would they be able to come back from it? And I think they have shown that they have. And I think when you look at the way the game has gone in 90 minutes, we're now into the second period of extra time. There's definitely a spirit and a determination about the Rangers side that's been sadly lacking in the previous Old Firm games.
Kinezia did get the little touch. Ferguson's been immense in extra time. Kinezia. There's Sutton. Beautiful play by Sutton. Alan Thompson. Can he get a shot in here? Ooh, just taken away. Larson was in for the kick. Great play by Thompson coming forward a little bit more. He's been playing very much a defensive role, now in attack.
Yeah, terrific burst of pace, especially at this late stage in the game. But there again, safe hands from Kloss. No spillages at all. Larson lurking in that danger area.
Shot is a throw which will be played back to the Rangers goalkeeper. Although Kinezia has been very good, once or twice he's a little bit greedy, but he's made interesting runs.
Yeah, but he's dangerous. He's got that burst of pace. If he gets the ball in the right area, he's always going to cause Celtic some problems.
There's Arveladze. Didn't seem to have the appetite to want to go in for that. Quantaman. Yelby, good anticipation again. Now Ferguson. Surely a booking for Larson, and I have to say Barry Ferguson has had some rather innocuous performances of late, but he's been quite majestic in this extra period.
Well, not only the extra period, I think in terms of the 90 minutes he's been a heavy influence in the Rangers team, and I think the difference actually is that he's playing more penetrating passes. I sometimes think he's accused of playing a lot of passes, just square passes left and right, but this time he's been looking to play that killer pass, and a lot of the times it's come off.
Here's Quantaman, the goal scorer. Kinezia. Stab there to Torandri Flo. Yes, I think the ball had gone over. In fact, a free kick quickly taken. Ferguson. Here's Newman. Well, does get a little touch to Arveladze. Couldn't get hold of it properly.
He should have scored actually. That was a fantastic
chance. Yes, it was a chance. Away with his right foot, Arthur Newman. There's Arveladze. Thought of it just being a little bit too tight. Keita. Oh, nobody going for that. Ferguson delayed. Moravcik, can he get in the shot? Tremendous shot. What a superb save. Forcibly stood his ground. That would have taken him right into the back of the net if he hadn't stood tall and solid.
Yeah, wonderful effort from Moravcik, but Klaus was right behind it. He did well just to keep it out.
Baldi. Just away by Vidmar. Petar. Ganidja, fouled, free kick. Johnson. Something right across there, and I think a booking.
Yeah, it's a yellow card for Sutton, I think. Not so much that foul there, but for the number of fouls that he's been involved in since he's come on.
Tall, powerful player, and he's given Celtic so much skill and muscle since he arrived. Under a bit of a shadow from Chelsea, where some of the English thought he really wasn't up to it, and showed coming off of the border he is. Ganidja just inside. Petar. Amaruso's there again. The stand free kick against Amaruso. And the referee will have something to say about this. Just a little eruption. It's getting ragged. Desperation setting in. All in wrestling match there again, and you need to be tough. Amaruso did get his head to it. It's a corner kick though. Loud roar of encouragement from the Celtic support. They've really got a man who can take penetrating corner kicks here, Moravcik. Only Lennon has been left at the back. Well away, and here's the chase. Play still goes on. Larson, who is just away and off by Continent. Total blunder in the middle of that defence.
Yeah, I think it was Amaruso and Klaus getting in each other's way. Fantastic cross from Larson, but that could have fallen anywhere, and I think it was Newman in the end that cleared it.
I don't think he knew where it was. More pressure. Little flick across, Amaruso's there. Everybody back for Rangers. 8 minutes of this game remaining. Across. That's a goal kick. Now, Lovenkrands is down. Now, let's see this. Yes, he took an elbow in the face.
Yeah, he did. I think it was completely accidental, but certainly still a sore one.
Just gets a little touch to Ganidja. Not enough on it there by Rickson, who simply gives the ball away again. Here's Alvalanche coming away with it. Just on to Ferguson. That'll be a free kick. Agad had to go back with Ferguson.
Yeah, he did, but great use of the body from Barry Ferguson, just putting himself between the ball and Alan Thompson, and a bit of experience there winning the free kick.
And it goes to Newman, a kind of wasted ball that. Here's Lovenkrands. Great run by Lovenkrands. Did he get it across? Brilliant shot. Superbly cleared. He could have cut it inside as well, of course. Decided to go himself.
Well, Logan Kranz has shown fantastic pace. You know, we're almost played 120 minutes and he's still got the energy to go past 2 or 3 players.
They want Robert Douglas to come forward for this. Away by Benoit. Just got away again. Agat. Valde. Ferguson. Yes, pulled back there by Lennon. He didn't like that decision, but it'll be a free kick to Rangers.
Yeah, it's a tremendous contest in there, 2 highly committed players, but the referee's got it right. You can see Neil Lennon pulling out the shot to Ferguson, and he's made the right decision.
Arveladze again giving the ball away. I think his nerve is gone in this game. Here's Sutton, Newman trying to get back on him. That's a good save though, great effort though by Sutton. And again the danger stemming from a mistake in midfield. Here's Ferguson. Arveladze, what can he do with it this time? On to Kanigia. Back goes Pedder with them. Just got that away. Arveladze. Once again he gives the ball away slightly, putting his side under pressure. Sutton. Agat. They want to attack them. And that's another corner kick. Good move by Celtic. And just about 3 minutes remaining. A crowded Rangers penalty area. Still the 1 goal in it. Moravchik again. Not the best of corner kicks. Still can't get it clear enough. Gets the other opportunity. Vidmar this time. Now Amaruso. And that'll be a free kick. You know, it's astonishing that we were writing Amaruso off. He gave every indication he couldn't play on.
Well, even all of the players surrounding him, Neil Lennon especially, he seemed to think it was a pretty terrible injury, but Amaruso just refusing to come off.
And I think Arveladze is coming off. He's run himself out. I think he's shattered because of that penalty miss. And on will come young Stephen Hughes.
I think Alec now just trying to make sure that Rangers give nothing away, putting on Stephen Hughes, fresh legs, the last few minutes of play. Arveladze has given everything tonight.
So free kick to Rangers. Amaruso to take this. It's deep. Kanigia has it. And I think it trundled off him. A minute and a half left. Free kick again as Thompson. Sutton rather, will cross that far side, barging in again, and it must be nerve-wracking for that man down there at the moment. His first Old Firm game, and a bit of it telling him that, well, maybe his future would be better if he won this, that if he didn't, it was going to be much more difficult. And now he's looking victory in the face, a long way to go, even at this stage in an Old Firm match. It's Kanigia. Almost got in there. And Flo comes across as we go into the final minute. This will be taken by Balkarin. Ball simply goes over. What's been given, I'm not sure what it is. The referee wants a throw taken again. Oh, and it's touched there by Vidmar. Celtic flooding forward again. "15 seconds remaining by my watch. There's a minute of the game left. 1 minute of stoppage time added. Arthur Newman to take it, and away it goes. Arveladze didn't take that well though. Beg your pardon, that was Lovenkrantz who sent that inside. Amoroso, now Kenigia. That'll be a free kick. Time is running out for Celtic. 30 seconds remaining between Alec McLeish and his first triumph in his first Old Firm game and his first final appearance, as Rangers get this free kick, leading by 2-1 in one of the most exciting Old Firm games we've seen in years. There's Ferguson up towards Flo. Lovenkrantz. It's all over. Rangers have reached the final. In a sporting handshake between the two managers, Alec McLeish has pulled it off. A Rangers team, as Andy said, showing much more character, much more determination than they've done in a long time. Celtic a great effort to come back into the game, but I think on the basis, Andy, of that extra time, Rangers deserve it just to get in front.
Yeah, I think Rangers certainly had the edge in extra time, and the player who had the biggest influence for me, not only in extra time but in the 90 minutes, was Barry Ferguson. He's a player that has been criticised even for taking the captaincy at Rangers, but I think tonight he led by example. Wonderful performance, and he'll lead his team to the final.
Well, there we are, joy amongst the Rangers support. For the first time in 6 games, they've put one over their great rivals in, as I said earlier, a quite enthralling semi-final. 2-1, as I hand you back now to Jim.
And Celtic.